U.S. President Donald Trump on April 2nd. Chicago soil, European rapeseed, and Malaysian palm oil are seeing sharp losses for a second straight day. Meanwhile, crude oil is losing approximately $5 U.S. per barrel. The Canadian Grain Commission reported 233,000 tons of canola were shipped for export during the weekend in March 30th, more than twice than the 113,800 reported the week before. So far this marketing year, 6.866 million tons were shipped, compared to 4.031 million 1 year earlier. The Canadian dollar is down 0.8 of a U.S. cent compared to Thursday's close. The May canola contract is down $11.10 per ton at $624.80. In the U.S., corn is lower while soybeans and wheat are down by the double digits after China announced retaliatory 34% tariffs on U.S. imports. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's attaché in China estimated the country's corn crop for 2025-26 to total 300 million tons, a 1.7% increase. Chinese corn imports were also pegged at 8 million tons. However, China's tariffs on U.S. corn imports will add up to 49%. The USDA's attaché in Brazil also raised its estimate for 2025-26 corn production in that country at 130 million tons. The Buenos Aires Grain Exchange reported Argentina's corn harvest at 20.3% complete, but early frost could affect its progress. The May corn contract is down 5 U.S. cents per bushel at $4.53. Soybeans are seeing a major sell-off today amidst worries that importers will favor South American soybeans over the U.S. crop due to tariffs. Prices have already hit 3-month lows today. One research firm said Trump's tariff policies could be, quote, a net positive for Brazil, end quote, and its exports. China's tariffs on U.S. soybean imports will be at 44%. The May soybean contract is down 33 U.S. cents per bushel at $9.79. The Canadian Grain Commission reported 564,600 tons of wheat were shipped for export last week, up from 445,300 tons the week before. So far this marketing year, 13.886 million tons have been shipped for export, up from 13.867 million 1 year ago. France Agri-Maire said the French soft wheat crop is 76% good to excellent, an 11-point improvement from last year. Ukraine's Ag Ministry said it has planted 926,000 hectares of spring grain, up 8.7% from last year, including 79,800 hectares of wheat. The May Chicago wheat contract is down 10 U.S. cents per bushel at $5.27. The May Kansas City hard red wheat contract is down 14 U.S. cents per bushel at $5.55. The May Minneapolis spring wheat contract is down 9 U.S. cents per bushel at $5.82. That's a look at the ICE futures and U.S. markets for Friday, April 4th. In Winnipeg for MarketsFarm.com, I'm Adam Pelashati.
For over 35 years, they've been your go-to for quality farm and snow removal equipment, and they should also be your go-to for parts. At Butler Farm Equipment, their parts department is stocked with batteries, oil, pins, bushings, antifreeze, bearings, belts, pulleys, sprockets, roller chain, hoses, fittings, hydraulic cylinders, and more. Plus, specific OEM parts from New Holland, Schulte, Toro, and Gravely. Butler Farm Equipment, over 35 years of great service in the Peace region. Visit butlerfarmequipment.ca.
The opinions expressed on this show do not represent those of the station. If you've missed any of the shows, you can follow the podcast at energeticcity.ca. Welcome to This Week in the Peace, a show dedicated to the people, events, and news of BC's Peace region. Here's your hosts, Dub Craig and Steve Berard.
Welcome to This Week in the Peace. Later in the show, I'll be talking with our very own Greg Armstrong to go over some information about this year's North Peace People's Choice Awards.
Yes, but first, local artist Alicia Doerksen's opening a new month-long exhibition at Peace Gallery North called Awakening, a collection of works celebrating the beauty of nature and wildlife. The exhibition opens tonight, and I'm very glad now to welcome Alicia to the show. Alicia, thank you for stopping by This Week in the Peace.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
I'm so happy you're here. Tell me a bit about yourself and kind of your journey as an artist to kind of get to this point. When did arts kind of start for you? Was this a kid passion that you?
It definitely was a kid passion. High school, I think. My grade 10 art teacher, he kind of like spearheaded the gears to kind of think about an art career.
So even then he was like...
Yeah, he was like, you have some hidden talent in there. You could probably do something with this. And so, yeah, it was probably right around then. And then, life goes on. You have kids, you get married, you do your thing. And then about 2015, I think it was, my girlfriend was having a fundraiser.
Yeah.
And I offered to paint her a picture on barnwood. And then, it just kind of snowballed from there. From there, I was asked to do a show at the hospital in 2019. And then I kind of had a little bit of a lull. And then I just thought, for my 45th birthday, I would maybe reawaken my talent. And so awakening happened.
Interesting. All right. So to kind of segue now to the exhibition itself, has this been kind of coming together for some time, the pieces in this show?
It is. Yeah. I initially booked the show 2 years ago.
Okay.
So giving away my age, but so it was just kind of like in the back of my mind, I was like, I really want to try a solo show. And so Peace Gallery North gave me that opportunity. So I took it.
Had you been a part of shows before that were like with other artists then, I suppose?
Yes. I am a member of the Federation of Canadian Artists as well. So, and then the Guild of Artists in Grande Prairie. So they do shows here and there. And I've joined in on exhibitions before, but never anything solo.
What do you think inspires you most in your work? If there's just one thing, or is it kind of you find inspiration in lots of different places?
I do. I find inspiration mostly in just the way painting makes me feel. It just calms me. It's kind of like my stress relief. So that's kind of what I do.
So I guess do you mean then you just sort of sit down and you're like, I'm going to paint something, and then you just start to feel good about it and whatever kind of comes of it?
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes it'll be like an outing that I've been on and I've seen something, usually an animal I've seen. Lots of times it's just the everyday event that I'm like, oh, I should paint that. And then, when I'm stressed and I just have time to relax and unwind, that's kind of what I do.
Okay. And then, as you say, this is your first solo show you've ever done, eh? So, so tell us a bit about that. As you said, you booked this 2 years ago. Are these all original pieces you've made in those 2 years' time, and then kind of on the theme that you decided at the moment? Or?
Yes. So the theme and the idea for the show, I booked the show without really having any plan at all. And then I woke up one night at about 3 a.m. and I grabbed a piece of paper and a pencil and I just started sketching. And the 25 pieces just came to me in how I wanted them to look, the compositions, and I just sketched it all out till 5 a.m.
Wow.
And then from there, I take each sketch and I kind of build off of it and come up with the final piece.
I see. What kind of media are we talking here? Is it all?
They're all oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oil paint.
Okay. And as you say, you basically had the skeleton of it after 2 hours waking up in the middle of the night. Then how long would you say it took you to kind of craft each piece? Are you someone who paints quickly? Does it take you some time?
Surprisingly, I would love to say it took me the whole 2 years to do, but I don't work that way. For whatever reason, I just knock them off quick. So I'm a very quick painter. I would say these pieces probably come together within the last 3 months. Yeah.
And as I said at the start, it's celebrating the beauty of nature and wildlife. So without giving it all away, what kind of pieces can we expect to see when it opens tonight? What kind of things?
There is a wide variety. So I don't specify in animals or landscapes, but there's a little bit of everything. And I live in the country. There's a picture of my old truck at the end of the driveway. Just things, on a day-to-day that I see that I'm like, that would make a nice painting. Yeah.
And is this, when people come tonight, are some of these up for sale? Like, could people take them home not at the end but at the end of the exhibition? Is that part of this too?
Yeah. So they're all for sale. And I think they're on display until the 26th of April.
No, that sounds about right.
So you can purchase them, but I don't think you're allowed to take them home until then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then tonight, the gala, tell us a bit about that, when it starts and all that.
I'm hoping I have a ton of people show up. I am a very social person, contrary to most artists. I'm not an introvert. And so, yeah, I'd like to meet Fort St. John. I have only met one client, was nice enough to request a painting for her husband. So that's actually what got me into Fort St. John area. And then Charlie in Dawson Creek said, hey, you should approach the Peace Gallery. Maybe they'll have a show for you. And so I went and talked to them, and they were on board. Yeah. Awesome. So it'll just be a few snacks, some wine, a little bit of socializing.
And, of course, meeting the artist.
And meeting me, yeah.
Starts at 7, I believe?
It does, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. And as usual, that is, I believe, free to attend. You can buy, of course, always support the Peace Gallery North by buying things when you're in it. But you can go to the gala and see the art at any time for free. Anything else you'd like to say while we have you here, Alicia? It sounds like it's going to be a wonderful show.
I hope so. I hope I get to meet lots of Fort St. John people. And just thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome. Alicia, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. That's Alicia Doerksen. Her show, Awakening, opens tonight at Peace Gallery North. Will be available for you to see through the month if you can't make it tonight. They'll go tonight and meet her. You can ask her all about the art. We'll be right back with more on This Week on the Piece with Steve's conversation with Greg right after this.
Swing by Just Jack's Restaurant and treat yourself to our Irish Delights lunch buffet every Friday. All the flavors you love and all you can eat for just $16. Think of it as fast food, but jazzed up with a delicious Irish twist that's far from the usual. Come on over and dig in.
Attention all Peace Region energy workers. Great Canadian Oil Change salutes your hard work and dedication to powering our communities. They know you depend on your vehicles to keep you going, so when it's time for service, trust Great Canadian Oil Change. They proudly accept all fleet cards, making it convenient for you to maintain your fleet on the go. Quick, no appointment service done in about 15 minutes. Now open across the highway from Safeway and Starbucks. Convenient, trusted, expert care. Now that's a Great Canadian Oil Change.
Morgan Wallen is coming to Edmonton, and we're sending a listener to see the sold-out show.
Last night we let the liquor talk.
But first, we're going to be their problem.
Guess I'm the problem.
Follow along with the Micro Consulting and Moose FM We're the Problem giveaway. Join us on our Facebook and Instagram accounts as we follow our 4 finalists and their life-sized Morgan Wallen cutouts until April 11th. We'll check on them at work, at the grocery store, and we'll even text our finalists asking for selfies to make sure they have their Morgan Wallen. We'll post updates, selfies, and videos, and the last listener standing wins 2 tickets to see Morgan Wallen's sold-out show in Edmonton. Follow us online for the We're the Problem contest, brought to you by Micro Consulting and supported by Rhythm Auctions, Mobile One Lube Express, and Service on Site.
Moose Country weather.
Today, you can expect sunny skies and a high of 13 degrees. Wind chill is going to feel like -7 this morning, but that goes away. Later tonight, 5 degrees. And then tomorrow, sun is out again, high of 16, sunny skies all day. Then on Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 17.
You can watch this show live on Facebook, catch the replays at energeticcity.ca, or be part of the show by texting your thoughts to the Fort City Chrysler line at 250-787-2222.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Steve. EnergeticCity.ca is gearing up for this year's North Peace People's Choice Awards. To tell us more about it, I'm here with our very own Greg Armstrong, one of the people that makes sure the world keeps spinning around here, so that we can go over some of the details. Greg, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Steve?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks for making some time today.
Yeah, no worries.
So, to start with, for people who are maybe new to the area in the past couple of months, what are the North Peace People's Choice Awards?
Yeah, for sure. So, basically, they're your community awards. So, when it comes to trying to represent businesses, organizations, organizations and people in the community that you want to shout out, say, hey, these guys are awesome people. This is a great opportunity to do so. So these were actually used to be run by the Alaska Highway News in the past, but the Alaska Highway News unfortunately closed a couple of years ago. And so we were like, hey, it's really important for local news and all that stuff to be in our community. So we decided to step up last year, and we took over the People's Choice Awards. And we ran it last year for the first time ever. It was quite a learning experience, but it was a lot of fun. We had our awesome supporters, Remax, Action Realty, have actually come on again this year. So we really appreciate them too. Again, it's all about just shouting out the awesome people in our community that make it a great place to live. And so this is our second time doing them this year, and we're excited to make it bigger and better than last year.
Okay, awesome. So walk me through, I see you've got that flyer there in front of you. Walk me through what the timeline looks like for voting and submissions.
Yeah, so voting opened on March 31st, and then it will close on May 11th. So a little bit over a month there. So we have over 200 categories. It's one of those things of like, you want to try to make sure everybody's represented. So we got a lot of suggestions last year of what we missed. And so we added a bunch of categories from last year. So there are over 200. It's a lot. But the good news is you don't have to vote in every single category. If you really only care about best restaurant, if you really only care about best radio station, you can just vote for those categories, and that's totally fine. We even, tried our best to make it easy to navigate. But all people have to do is go to moosemediafsj.ca/awards. Over there, you'll find out more information about the awards. You'll find out more information about the prizes we're giving away, and then you'll also be able to vote. You'll be able to vote, like I said, as many categories as you want. And then, that's going on until May 11th, so a little bit over a month.
Okay, awesome. For people who are interested in voting, maybe they've never done it before, especially since, like you said, this is only the second year.
Yeah.
Do they need to be at their computer? Can they do it on their phone? How long does it take? Walk me through sort of the actual process.
For sure. So you can do it on your computer. You can do it over your phone. As long as you have an internet connection, you can vote, right? You just have to go to, again, moosemediafsj.ca/awards. And yeah, how long it takes, it really depends on how many you want to do. I did it myself. I mean, everybody in the community can go ahead and check them out. If you want to do all 200, it'll take a few minutes to go through it. But if you know exactly who you're voting for, exactly what categories you're voting in, you can just kind of blaze through it. So it's pretty simple. We made it as simple as we possibly can. And of course, we're open to suggestions. So at the very end, if you find, you missed this category, or I didn't like the way you had this laid out, let us know. We'll definitely open to suggestions. Like I said, we're continuing to evolve it over as we're going to take over it the next few years.
Let's say today somebody makes their submissions, they've cast their votes, and then a week from now they go, I missed some things. Can people get in touch about editing what they've submitted, or how can they go about doing that? Is that possible?
Yeah, we don't usually edit submissions, but you can submit multiple times if you really want to. Okay. If you say you forget a category, or a week later, say you suddenly have a great cup of coffee and you're like, oh man, I should have voted for them when I voted for them. You are allowed to go back in and vote again. Obviously we have some restrictions about, making sure that you only have one submission to our prizes or something like that. Yeah. We have some minor restrictions like that. But again, if there's no restriction on, you can only vote once. It's really like if you suddenly realize, I just got my tires changed, I love this mechanic, you can go back in and do another submission if you would like.
Okay, awesome. Now, I heard the word prizes.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So we have amazing sponsors making sure that we can do the award. So like I said, Remax Action Realty is our title sponsor. Really appreciate them coming on board. But we also have Brad's Furniture and Appliances, Butler Farm Equipment, Great Canadian Oil Change, and SLB again this year. So they all, help us put on these awards, but they also provided prizes. So that way, when people vote, you can enter to win one of these amazing prizes. So we have 6 prizes to give away. One of them is the grand prize, which is like a patio set, conversation set that's worth like $700, something like that. And then we have a $250 gift card to Brad's, a $250 gift card to Butler, a $250 gift card to Great Canadian Oil Change, and then we have 2 portable speakers provided by SLB that we're giving out as well. So we have a lot of prizes, and all you have to do to enter to win the prizes is you have to vote. You have to vote in at least 20 categories. You have to provide us a contact information because we need to get a hold of you. And then, we'd love it if you sign up for our free daily newsletter as well. And that's how you enter to win. So when you submit all your categories that you're ready to vote, there's a thing at the very end just to be like, hey, enter to win the prizes. You don't have to. It's not required to. If you want to be completely anonymous and you just really care about voting for the awards, that's totally fine too. You can just do that.
Okay, awesome. And the deadline for entering to win those prizes is the same deadline for voting in general.
Yes, 100%. So it's all going on until May 11th, 2025. That's how you enter to vote. That's how you enter for the prizes and all that fun stuff. Once we are done on May 11th, close the ballots, we will then calculate all the results. And then the plan is by June 16th is to have hey, this is who won 2025. It was really awesome. Last year, again, was our first time doing it. We loved handing out all these certificates to all the awesome local businesses and people in the region. I'm sure you guys have seen it around town. It's great to see, if you're trying to figure out, where is the best steak in town? Where is the best, place to get furniture or stuff like that? It's a great opportunity to kind of locate those businesses and people. And the other awesome thing, like you mentioned, I'm with energeticcity.ca. We put those results on our site as well, so that in the future, if you need a reference, like, oh man, I really want some chicken wings, where is the best place to go get chicken wings? You can actually check our website and see, okay, awesome. I even included on the awards this year the results from last year, a quick way to find it. So if you are interested to see who won last year, make sure to go check it out. The other super fun thing that we did last year was we compiled some of the results into fun articles. So for example, like we compiled all of the best restaurants in Fort St. John voted on by the residents of, not just Fort St. John, all of the North Peace, right? So it was a really awesome opportunity to showcase like all these awesome organizations, businesses that make it a North Peace a great place to live.
Awesome. Now, talking about those compilation articles, best restaurant, I know I referenced that a few times.
Yeah.
Are we going to be doing that again?
That's the plan this year. I don't know specifically what categories I'm going to do. It really depends on the results we get, but most likely it'll be, another goal of the awards is we have people moving to Fort St. John all the time, like yourself. Like you just moved last year, right, Steve? So it's one of those things of we really want to, if somebody's new to town, how are they going to find out, especially where the locals go, right? Because that's how you get the good stuff. So the goal with those articles, again, is just to showcase North Peace as such a great region to live.
Okay, so the deadline to submit is May 11th. We're hoping to know the winners by June 16th.
Yeah, that's the plan. The other thing I'll mention, I have mentioned, it is the North Peace People's Choice Award. So if you're located in Hudson's Hope, Taylor, Charlie Lake, and then areas B and C of the PRD, those are all eligible. As long as the business is located in those regions or organization or person, they are eligible to be nominated for the awards.
Okay, for sure. That goes over everything on my list. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just want to mention thank you again to all of our sponsors for supporting us. And of course, thank you to everybody who's voted. Again, this is a great showcase to really support local businesses and everybody in our region and really showcase to the rest of the world, especially people who are moving here or potentially moving here, why this is such a great place to live. Some people may be living in like Edmonton or Vancouver or something like that, hesitant to move towards St. John, and they go, oh man, they got amazing pizza, I'm on my way, type of thing. So that's something we really appreciate with the awards. And yeah, again, thanks for voting. And like I said, May 11th, moosemediafsj.ca/awards. Make sure to go vote.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Greg. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was Greg Armstrong with energeticcity.ca. Again, voting is available now for the North Peace People's Choice Awards. Will be until May 11th. Thanks again to Alicia Doerksen for coming on earlier in the show. And thank you for tuning into This Week in the Peace.
You can listen to this show again by checking out the podcast at energeticcity.ca/podcast. There's also previous episodes of the show there as well. You can also check out our other locally produced podcast, Before the Peace, and all of its episodes there as well. That's our show. I'm Dub Craig.
And I'm Steve Berard. Be well.
Join us again next Friday morning at 10 for another edition of This Week in the Peace, your weekly talk show dedicated to the people, events, and news of BC's Peace region. Or you can listen to this podcast again at energeticcity.ca.